The Nextorch TA22. This is a tactical pen light, and you can tell by the build of this that this light has a very tactical design. Just to show you the box real quick, green and white box, you can see there 850 lumens maximum output. It is rechargeable. Just some basic stuff on the box there. Get the box out of the way. This light with its tactical design, right now it's pretty new as of this video. I haven't seen it for sale anywhere except for the Nextorch website. And on that website it lists for $69.99, so not a cheap pen light. But I think the design of this is a very tough tactical design. If you compare it to just what I would consider kind of regular pen lights, like the Nextorch Dr. K32 and the Olight i3T, which are more kind of typical lights, more regular duty, regular use lights, and they are cheaper. This one seems like it is built tougher just by the nature of the design, and I guess you're going to pay a premium for that. It does put out up to 850 lumens from that LED up there in the front. We'll get into the design features of this, but let's start with the quick things that it comes with. Instruction manual, a USB-A to USB-C cable. Really, I think that a lot of flashlight companies could skip this now. This is a Nextorch branded cable for what that's worth. If someone doesn't have one of these cables, well, they ought to just go buy one, and the flashlight companies could probably save a dollar or so. And then it also comes with a lanyard if you're the lanyard type. Looking at the design of the light, like I said, you can see by the design, the knurling, that this is a very tactically designed light, and it has modes and functions set up for such things as well. On the back here, the tail button doubles as both a tail button and a charge indicator. If you have this over in the lockout function, it will briefly show the charge indicator. Blue is greater than 75%, flashing blue is 50 to 75, and red is 25 to 50%. Moving down, there's the selector knob, which has three functions: lock, duty, and tack. Lock is what it would sound like when it's in the lock one. You can't actuate it. If you just rotate this over to duty, that enables you to go low, medium, and high. And if you go to tack, half press is the full 850 lumens, and a full press is the strobe. And this is all momentary. So momentary full bright and momentary strobe. In lockout, when you first switch it into that, it will show you the charge. After that charge goes off, if you just press the button, it will then light that back up to show you where on the charge indicator. Moving down, there's the pocket clip. The pocket clip does have a hole here that you could mount the lanyard. The pocket clip is removable. I like that there's a lot of space under the pocket clip up here for some thick pockets. There's decent amount of space down here. I think that could be flared out just a little bit more for getting into a little bit thicker pockets, but overall, I've not had any problems with it. The body has the knurling, again, with that tactical kind of bend. The light is made of a typical 6061 T6 aluminum alloy. Everyone is familiar with that type of thing. Unscrewing the head. In here, this is a new battery for me. This is a rechargeable 10880 battery. You can see a recharger right there, and it lights up as it's charging to let you know the charge indication. But a Nextorch 650 milliamp hour 10880 battery. Essentially, it is two AA batteries, and it's really kind of a cool battery. Again, it's my first experience with one of those. Up in the front of the head here, again going with the tactical bend of this light, there is a nano ceramic strike bezel. You can use this for window breaking or self-defense. I would again caution, as I have in other videos, if you're going to use this to break a window, try and have some gloves on, because you're going to put your hand through the window and cut your hand up, and I've taken care of way too many glass hand injuries in the ER, so be careful with that unless it's true emergency. Try and protect your hands with something so you don't chop up your hand. Otherwise, in there is the LED with a textured reflector, and they say this light will throw 95 meters with that 850 lumens. Realistically, are you going to be seeing a full football field with a pen light? Well, probably not, but that's the rated throw distance. It's IPX8 rated, as a lot of lights are, and again, that just lends to the overall toughness of this light. To briefly cover the modes one more time, in tactical mode, half press gets you that full 850 lumens, and a full press gets you the strobe. I've been critical of lights with half press tactical momentary in the past, because in the moment of adrenaline, you're probably going to mash it and get the strobe, but you're probably also not going to be using a pen light for building searches. So for kind of an everyday sort of tactical light, I think the half press on this is just right to where you get that full brightness without accidentally going to the strobe. I think the force of it that you need is just right. And then with a little extra mash, you get the strobe. The head will get a little bit warm just from that brief right there. It's just slightly warm, and they do put a little warning there. In duty mode, it has a low output of 15 lumens, a medium output of 150 lumens, and a high output of the 850 lumens. It will do low for 15 hours, medium for 2 hours, and high for 1 hour. So you can half press it on and then full press it, and it will come onto the brightness from those. You can half press through the brightnesses, and then to turn it off, you just full press it again. It does not have mode memory, which is my preference because I like to know what brightness the light is going to come onto versus trying to have to remember what I turned it off on. So it's been off, and you'll see that it will come on to low again every time, which again, I appreciate. A size comparison of this light to some others that you may be familiar with: the Rovivon Aurora A33, the Olight i3T, the Nextorch Dr. K3 Pro, the Nextorch Dr. K32, and the TA22. And you can see it's right in there on the size, a little bit on the larger side. But I've carried this a bunch of times now, and really it's a pen light, and it does disappear pretty well into your pocket. The beam pattern on this is a fairly diffuse beam, so it's going to be good for kind of broad room searches, broad searches in your car, all sorts of just kind of general flashlight purposes. It's not a focused thrower. And again, this is a pen light, a tactical pen light if you were, so take it for what it's worth for that kind of use. But I think either as a secondary backup light, if you are in law enforcement and you want an extra tough light, this is a great option. Or if you want really a high quality, everyday pen light that is a little extra bright. So although on the expensive side, take a look at this one, the Nextorch TA22.